Did you know that in the 19th century, between the years 1839 and 1843, rural Wales saw a series of protests known as the Rebecca Riots? These protests were characterized by peasants disguising themselves as women and taking to the streets to voice their grievances. The riots were a response to several issues, including the high tolls imposed on the use of roads and the challenging living conditions faced by many. The name Rebecca was often invoked as a symbol of protest, referencing the biblical figure who appeared in Genesis. I can dance. I can... something like that. Not Genesis, no. The desire for protest was caused by various factors. Firstly, poverty had grown out of control in the agricultural heartlands of Wales, fueling a hunger for action. Secondly, famine had arisen in the area, a side effect of a particularly lengthy and terrible spell of rain which had devastated the area and brought about a drastic fall in food and crop prices, which devastated agricultural Wales even further. Then perhaps most significantly, the cost of entering through turnpikes, toll gates / roads, had increased. So in short, the income of the farmers had fallen, rent had risen, and so too had the cost of day-to-day living. Hey, this kind of sounds like the present day, actually. This then led to the beginning of the protests, which typically took place at the turnpikes. The Rebecca Riots had become somewhat romanticized for the unusual, though effective, attire donned by the rioters. They would become Mercht Becca, or translated as Rebecca's daughters, and would wear 19th century Welsh feminine attire consisting of a white gown, blackened or made-up faces, and or a mask, with the leader of the riots donning the name Rebecca, or simply Becca. The origins of Rebecca can be traced back to the Bible with a passage from Genesis 24:60, which says, "And they blessed Rebecca and said unto her, Thou art our sister. Be thou the mother of thousands of millions, and let thy seed possess the gates of those which hate them." The turnpikes would also bear witness to a choreographed communicative chant between Rebecca and her daughters, which would go as follows. Rebecca would say, "What is this, my children? There is something in my way. I cannot go on." And the rioters would respond, "What is it, Mother Rebecca? Nothing should stand in your way." "I do not know, my children. I am old and cannot see well." "Well, shall we come and move it out of your way, Mother Rebecca?" Rebecca would then say, "Wait! It feels like a big gate put across the road to stop your old mother." The rioters would then go, "We will break it down, mother. Nothing stands in your way." And then, of course, they would break it down. Overall, it was a very effective way to riot, and drawing upon a biblical figure is doubly effective, as it surely added a scare into the hearts of the very oppressors who had wreaked havoc upon West Wales, leading up to the Rebecca Riots. Over time, the riots shifted attention to the landlord class, who had raised the cost of rent for farmers during a time when they most needed leniency and extra support. By the fall of 1843, the situation in Wales had improved somewhat, meaning that the demand for action was slightly less desperate. There had, however, been the murder of a woman, Sarah Williams, on September 7th, 1843, and this potentially ushered in a period of reflection and raised awareness to the possibility that the riots were losing direction.